Welcome back to Your Nerdy Show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master, and today we're diving deep into the wildest and most mind-blowing fan theories about Predator Badlands. From Dek possibly being half-human, to Njohrr's twisted family secrets, and even the shocking idea that the Kalisk Beast might actually be his long-lost sister. These theories are absolutely insane. Some are emotional, some are downright terrifying, and all of them could completely change what we think we know about the Predator universe. So grab your plasma caster, because we're about to explore the most unpredictable corners of Badlands lore. Dek's shocking origin, half-human hybrid, the theory that explains his weakness. Let's start with the craziest fan theory out there, the one that could completely rewrite everything we think we know about Predator Badlands. What if Dek, the so-called runt of Njohrr's clan, isn't a pure Yautja at all? What if his frail build, his strange empathy toward humans, and his conflicted nature come from something buried deep in his DNA? Human blood. According to this theory, Dek's weakness isn't genetic failure. It's humanity itself. Some fans believe that during a secret hunt on Earth, long before the events of Badlands, a Yautja might have experimented with or even taken a human as part of an interspecies experiment. It's wild, but not impossible. The Predator comics and films have hinted for years that Yautja and humans share more biological compatibility than we might think. Now imagine if Dek is living proof of that. His empathy toward Thaya, his hesitation to kill, even his smaller stature could all point to a human element inside him. It also explains why Njohrr hates him so much, not just as a weak son, but as a living reminder of a shameful secret. If Dek is part human, then the clan's pure bloodline is tainted, and that could set up one of the most explosive reveals of the series, the first hybrid predator who fights not just for honor, but for identity. And if Dek's human heritage ties back to someone like Dutch or Njohrr from Prey and Killer of Killers, then the Badlands timeline just cracked wide open. It's not just a Yautja story anymore, it's the next phase of human predator evolution. Predator plus human equals Dek. And if that's true, it changes everything. Njohrr's dark secret. Did he sacrifice Dek's mother for clan power? Njohrr's hatred for Dek isn't just about weakness. It might be about guilt. Some fans believe that Njohrr's rise to power came at an unbearable cost. He sacrificed Dek's mother in a failed hunt that secured his leadership. There's a quiet pain behind Njohrr's anger, that bitterness that feels like it comes from grief, not just pride. If you look closely, his rage at Dek and Quay feels deeply personal. He doesn't just want to destroy his son, he wants to erase a ghost that haunts him. In Yautja culture, female hunters are rare, but immensely respected. Some Predator comics have hinted at matriarchal traditions, where females often serve as judges of honor and clan lineage. If Dek's mother was one of these legendary warriors, her death might have been the breaking point for the clan. Maybe Njohrr made a fatal choice during a hunt, abandoning her for glory or even using her as a sacrifice to secure a Weyland-Yutani deal. Now imagine Njohrr projecting that failure onto his son. Dek's every weakness, every hesitation becomes a reminder of the mate he failed to save. "You are not my blood," Njohrr says in the trailer. Maybe that's not just disgust. Maybe it's guilt. This theory adds a tragic layer to the family dynamic, not just dominance and betrayal, but grief and shame. If true, it could redefine Njohrr not as a monster, but a broken father crushed by his own ambition. Dek was engineered to be the runt, Njohrr's secret eugenics project. Now let's talk about a theory that blends science horror with family tragedy. That Njohrr didn't just raise a weak son, he made one. In this version, Dek's small frame, broken tusk, and physical limitations aren't natural at all. They're the result of genetic manipulation. Eagle-eyed fans noticed in the trailer that Njohrr's trophy wall includes vials of DNA, human, xenomorph, and even Yautja. That's Weyland-Yutani tech, not tribal science. So here's the idea. Njohrr was part of a secret breeding experiment to create the perfect hunter. By gene splicing Yautja DNA with human adaptability, he tried to build a generation of super predators. But he also needed control, so he created a runt, a defective son engineered to lose in ritual combat, ensuring his favored child, Quay, always won. Dek was never supposed to survive, but his survival on Kalisk proves something Njohrr never accounted for: empathy. Dek's compassion, his refusal to kill needlessly, might be the very mutation that evolution favors. This would make Njohrr's entire legacy a lie. His strongest son, artificial. His weakest son, the true heir to honor. Njohrr's lab rat son might sound like clickbait, but the implications are terrifying. The predator's pursuit of perfection might have doomed them to extinction. Quay's betrayal twist. Is Dek's brother a Weyland-Yutani puppet? The rivalry between Dek and Quay already feels biblical. Cain and Abel in space. But what if it's even darker than we think? What if Quay isn't just a proud warrior, but a puppet of Weyland-Yutani? Footage shows Quay wielding a red plasma sword, not standard Yautja tech. Fans have noticed it hums with a strange rhythm, almost synthetic. What if that weapon came from a Weyland synthetic, like Thea's rival android, Tessa? The theory goes that Quay made a deal with the corporation in exchange for enhanced weapons and status. He thinks he's preserving the clan's dominance, but he's really handing them over to Weyland control. If true, the family feud becomes a corporate conspiracy. The final duel between Dek and Quay wouldn't just be brother against brother. It'd be freedom versus control, tradition versus corruption. And that line, family feud or corporate conspiracy, hits perfectly. Because if Quay has become a pawn, then Dek isn't just fighting for his life, he's fighting for his species. Quay is already dead. Dek's fighting a clone in the arena. Now for the mindbender. What if the brother Dek faces in the arena isn't even Quay? Listen carefully to the trailer. Njohrr's voice echoes, "You are not my blood." The red plasma sword, the off-color armor, and that eerie stillness in Quay's movement all feel off. This theory claims Quay is dead, and the one we see is a synthetic Yautja clone, built using Weyland bioengineering. It sounds insane, but it matches leaked concept art showing cloning tanks in Kalisk's facility. If the real Quay died during a failed hunt years ago, Njohrr might have replaced him with a clone to hide the disgrace. That twist changes everything. Dek's final fight isn't about revenge. It's about truth. Killing his brother's clone would be like destroying a lie his father built to keep the clan's reputation alive. The moment he realizes it's not Quay, that the man he's been hating and chasing is just a hollow shell, could be the emotional gut punch of the series. It's the kind of twist that would break the fandom in half in the best way possible. Dek's broken tusk holds his mother's memory crystal, a Yautja force ghost. This one's emotional and genius. Some fans believe that Dek's broken tusk isn't just a battle scar, it's a data crystal. In several shots, his tusk seems to glow faintly when he's near Thea. Android interface? Maybe. In Yautja tradition, tusks are sacred. They're engraved with kill tallies and memories of hunts. So what if Dek's mother, before dying, encoded her final hunt into his tusk, a literal memory shard carrying her last moments? Njohrr never touches Dek's tusk in any footage. That's not random. It's like he's afraid of what it contains. If this theory is right, the tusk could hold proof of Njohrr's betrayal, perhaps showing that he sold his mate out to Weyland-Yutani. And when Dek unlocks it, he wouldn't just be reclaiming honor, he'd be revealing the truth of his mother's death to the entire clan. That glowing tusk turning from a wound into a weapon of justice, pure cinematic poetry. Dek's tusk equals USB drive of revenge might sound funny, but it's heartbreak disguised as sci-fi. The Kalisk Beast is Dek's sibling, Njohrr's first failed experiment. Now this one's pure nightmare fuel. What if the monstrous Kalisk Beast, the supposedly unkillable alien Dek faces, isn't just another creature? What if it's his sister? Look closely at the beast's design in the teaser art. The dreadlock-like tendrils, the claw pattern, even the broken tusk scar, all eerily similar to Dek's family line. Some fans think this monster was Njohrr's first attempt at gene engineering a perfect hunter. It failed, mutated, and was abandoned on Kalisk to die. But instead of dying, it adapted, survived, and now it's part Yautja, part nightmare. When Dek discovers the truth, it would tear him apart. Killing the creature would mean killing his sister. Sparing it would mean defying everything the clan believes in. Imagine the final moment. Dek refuses to strike. The beast lowers its head in recognition, a silent acceptance. In that instant, Dek becomes more than a hunter. He becomes something new, a leader forged by empathy, not dominance. V, the android, is Dek's half-sister, Njohrr's forbidden Weyland-Yutani love child. And finally, the theory that breaks brains and hearts at the same time. What if Dia, the android ally, isn't just a friend, but Njohrr's daughter? Footage of her damaged skin reveals faint Yautja patterns underneath. Her scar matches Dek's broken tusk, and Njohrr hesitates when aiming his plasma cannon at her, the only time he shows mercy in the entire trailer. Fans believe Thea was created by Weyland-Yutani using Njohrr's DNA after his mate's death, a synthetic heir, a daughter made of steel and sorrow. If that's true, then Njohrr's two greatest failures, Dek and Thea, are his true legacy. Both rejected, both surviving, and both destined to destroy the empire he built on lies. Their alliance wouldn't just be rebellion, it would be poetic justice, the ultimate revenge of Njohrr's children against their maker. Our nerdy thoughts. Every single one of these theories, from Dek's human DNA to the Kalisk Beast's sibling reveal, shows how Predator, Badlands, is shaping up to be more than just a creature hunt story. It's a generational war, a sci-fi tragedy, and possibly the most complex chapter the Predator universe has ever told. Whether Dek turns out to be human, hybrid, clone, or something beyond, one thing's for sure. Badlands isn't just about survival. It's about what it means to be worthy of the hunt, when the real predator might be your own blood.